Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 114 of Two Left Thumbs, your favorite weekly gaming podcast that's going through an identity crisis. I'm your host, Deft Puppies, and joining me today, honorary Australian who has described herself as just a wild Sheila on the internet, smolTITAN. How are you?
How you going? Yeah, this is me. That's you really low key like that's a wrap, mate. We're done. Like,
We're done. Thank you very much. Wonderful listening.
You pretty much nailed the description right there. Yeah, couldn't have done it better myself. Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for asking me.
That's right. We've known each other a little bit through the Twitters and stuff, and I was like,
yeah,
you seem
I
cool.
think you were. I definitely think you were one of the ones that got caught up in the I went through like what's the opposite of a purge, the great collection of where I was basically going through Twitter and a lot of my mutuals and was just like, does their description say somewhere in Australia with an Australian flag? I'll follow them. Cross my Venn diagram somewhere as far as gaming goes, basically.
I need it for research.
So that was basically how that went down. I'm pretty sure that's how that's how we met, or how I found you. I'm not entirely certain. Again, I'm pretty sure you were a mutual of a mutual or something like that initially.
I wouldn't be surprised. We actually kind of run in a lot of the same circles.
Yeah.
I was part of TA for a while, and I'm a lot of friends with some of the guys in there. And I think that's where I was like, oh, she's in TA. She can't be too bad. So.
Yeah. I've noticed that too. Like I have TA as my what does that first one really count? Sure. Like fourth or fifth Destiny clan at this point. If you don't count the time my brother, my husband, and I made our own and ran solo for 3 or 4 months.
I did that. I had my own for a bit.
Yeah.
It's much easier when someone else is doing the work.
Yeah, it was my brother's idea. He was just like, yo, we left those guys. You should join us. I'm like, but I like those guys. Well, you should join us anyway. Okay, fine. So my brother is 16 and we are 17 now, and we got him into Destiny when he was 15 and we were living at their house, and he plays it far more than either my husband or I do at this point. His best friend lives across the country in Oregon, and it's pretty sweet. It was a social experiment that turned out far better than I could have.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful that he does play, but I ended up. Yeah, I met Log Power Slave and I were mutuals on Twitter for a very long time. And when COVID hit, I was tweeting erratically to the void, and he ended up messaging me and being like, "Yo, you okay? Like, you doing all right there?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks for asking or whatever." And I had a ton going on in my life, personally, and then I was working a ton, more than I've ever worked in my life, because my job was essential, and we were short people. A bunch of people just decided they weren't going to show up to work anymore because it was too dangerous, and all this other stuff. So it was just everything was just a hot disaster. So I pretty much just kind of ghosted him every 2 weeks or so. He would come back and be like, "Hey, he's still alive? Doing all right over there?" And I was like, "Stop being nice to me. Leave me alone."
I just want to be yelling at the internet. It's fine.
Yeah, literally. Just like, leave me alone to die. Cranks up my music. Like, he's like, no, enough of that now.
You come out of your room right now, miss.
Basically, though. So yeah, dad power slave, and yeah. So I ended up. Yeah, I was religious. Showed up in his streams for a while. And just started seeing a lot of familiar names, and then he would go and he would raid someone else, and I was like, oh, there's a name I recognize, and I just like, holy f- does this entire country know each other? Like, at least all the Destiny players do.
I mean, like, all the Destiny players kind of, because that's how I started kind of as well. So this is way back in D1. I started watching Destiny Down Under.
Oh yeah.
And they rated, they the same thing, kind of rated people, talked to people in chat. That's how I met Winky. Met him in chat. We've been lovers ever since.
Oh, he's a delight.
One of my close friends, Static, who was the original founder of this podcast. Met him through one of their raids as well. So yeah, but pretty well everyone I know kind of centers from, or on the internet anyway. I don't have friends outside of life, so this is everyone.
I feel that. Though.
So
I made
everything's
a friend the other day, and I'm like, I don't even know how to act right now. Like, this is kind of cool, but like at the same time, like, what do I do now? Like, what do I do with my hands here? Like,
just wave them magically. Like it's all fine.
it's
I mean,
like,
the audio the people listening to the audio won't give a fuck. So they'll just imagine someone waving their arms erratically. It'll be fine.
it's fine. This is
people on
fine.
YouTube will be like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know what's going on, but this is okay.
Oh, look, it's a wild shield on the internet.
So,
yes, that was pretty much how that went down, and people started asking me. Finally, again, I just, God, who else did I meet? Winky was one of them. What's his name? He's gonna kill me. Daniel, DNF Deadman. A bunch of other people. And even by extension, Man at Arms, Ricky, who is not Australian, but he's in TA.
Same.
He's actually he lives in Florida. So like I ended up meeting all of them, and people finally started asking me like, "Yo, when are you joining the clan?" I was like, "I'm not exactly your target geographic here." And they're like, "Yeah, no, Ricky's here. Like, Orchid's here. It'll be fine." Like, I'm like, even what's his name? I'm sorry. I love you guys so much.
She
Chris,
doesn't. She's lying.
Chris is from Sweden. And yeah, there's people all over the place. And yeah, so I was like, I don't know. And they're like, no, just ask Log, just do it. I'm like, no, that's called using your friendship for personal gain. I'm not doing that.
I mean,
They're
if
like,
you're
no,
not
seriously,
using friendship for
fine.
personal gain, why not, right? What are you doing?
You're not wrong though. All right, good. I mean, you make me feel like I made the right choice. Good idea.
It's really
but that's
weird
literally exactly like.
I met Rick not through TA.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, we got to know each other there, but I knew about him from the OG Peregrine Greaves post because I used to troll the Bungie forums.
Yes.
And I found that post. I'm like, oh my god, this person is fucking amazing. So I started following.
Oh my god,
shit.
He is.
And then I kind of like I left the forums and had a whole heap of stuff going on. And came back and then started playing with all these Aussie guys. And then Rick just shows up. I'm like, what the fuck? Small fucking world. And there's like a bunch of other people that are like regulars and people I've known for years now that also kind of, we all were there for that kind of moment where Rick kind of just like was doing those posts and started doing the videos and stuff. And like none of us knew each other. Now we all found each other through other means. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's unreal. I remember the Peregrine Greaves video, and I'm trying to remember the first thing. What did he do? How did I don't even remember. I don't remember how I first found Ricky. It was probably the Peregrine Greaves video. But I think that's how
everyone
did.
Originally found him.
Yeah, his
video
rabid fan base. I love that guy. Oh my god.
He's a fucking awesome guy.
Yeah, like I just remember thinking he was so fucking cool. And I had known Log. I had mentioned, Log and I had talked about him a couple times, and I was like, how did he end up there? And he kind of, explained to me, just, whatever. It's just kind of, he's not Australian. He has a convoluted American accent. It's not an Australian one though. Yeah, so I was like, wait a minute, then how did he get in with you guys? And like, it was kind of funny. But yeah, he and I ended up talking about Daft Punk or something on Twitter once, and 6 hours later we'd been messaging back and forth like all day. I'm like, nice. Oh, you guys are pretty cool. I guess we're friends now.
Even if you didn't want to be, we're friends now. Tough.
So yeah, it was a lot of people all at once, and it ended up being just the kind of people who just really just turned up for each other and had each other's back all the time. And it was really cool. I've never seen And that's my most asked question currently is, are you from Australia? Why do you talk like them? And also, how, if you're not, how did you get in with this group of people? Because they're such a tight-knit group of people, and you seem to have like it's like you have to know somebody who knows somebody, or like how did you as an American even have any cross on the Venn diagram with these people? And I know Ricky gets that question a lot too.
Yeah, he
And
does. Yeah.
yeah, the answer is truthfully, I don't really know. I just liked hanging out with you guys, and that was just everything else just kind of went from there, I guess. And I mean,
they've always been like. It's really weird because from the outside, it's like they look like this really tight knit group. It's kind of like a exclusive kind of Aussie only club, but it's not like that at all. They're really welcoming, really supportive, and just all around just good fucking people. And that's what makes them so awesome. Yeah, they do so much shit for each other, and they like have each other's backs and shit, and it's fucking great. I love them. They're great.
I've never had a group like that before.
Yeah,
so it's neat.
So for those playing at home, they've been sitting here for the last 10 minutes going, who the fuck are you? So, who the fuck are you, and what do you do?
Oh, well, again, what you didn't glean from that description, I guess I picked up. I play Destiny 2. I initially was a solo player for a very long time. I wouldn't even play strikes because I was afraid of people watching me and knowing that I was bad. So I did not play first-person shooter games. They made me nauseous. But in 2017, when I was pregnant with my only child, my husband's like, you need to calm the fuck down, because I spent all of my spare time searching basically all the things that can go wrong with a pregnancy. And my husband's like, you need to chill the fuck out. So it was 1 week after Destiny 2 came out, I watched him blast through the campaign, and he had it playing on the giant TV in the middle of our living room, so I was able just to kind of watch him every day come home from work and play this game. So if he finally went to the bathroom one day and I picked up the controller and I was kind of moving around a little bit, and he turned around, he's standing in the doorway going, do you like it? What do you want to play? What should we play? I'm like, stop it, take it back, I don't want it.
It's a trap, run.
It literally was, though, because then they cut my work hours back once I started getting more pregnant. And a lot of the college kids came home, so I was working 20 hours a week and playing Destiny the rest of the time, basically. I blasted through the campaign on my husband's secondary character. Then I made my own account, my own Xbox account, my own character, and did it all again. And just really, really grew to love it a lot. We actually had, as time went on, my husband made a friend who lives in Sydney, actually, in Destiny 1 trials. And so he was the only person I would play with every once in a while. And then we moved, and then the kid was born, and like all these other things went down. That's some of my best memories is the one time I outplayed my husband and Shrieker and Crucible. And waking up, having to be up with the child at 3 a.m. and sitting and running around Mars with the child here. The child is lying on my chest, and I'm holding the controller out in front of me, running around Mars. And Shrieker gets on. He's like, it's 3 a.m. over there. What are you doing?
I used to
don't come play with me.
I used to do a similar thing with my kids. I'd take the night shift, let wifey sleep, and he's like, all right. Guess I'll grind out some mats.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it all started. Again, we taught my brother. I ended up getting invited to a clan, joining it, not having any clue what it meant, being very confused. But I got free stuff, so I was like, okay, cool. And then I dealt with a lot of. I was diagnosed with postpartum depression, which for anyone who is unfamiliar with that, it's basically. Having a child is supposed to be a very, very, very happy and exciting time in your life, and sometimes the hormones and the imbalances in your brain that occur after having a child in a woman's body can and mind can make can literally just make you depressed and make you suicidal. And what is supposed to be a very, very happy time becomes every little thing is the end of the world and everything is horrible and you're just not okay. For me, I would get very I was very stroppy and short with everything. I could not stand to be in the same room as the cat for some reason. Our cat, who used to sleep next to the head of my bed every single night, before we moved apartments and before the child was born, everything she did, every noise she made was just like, ow! Like I could not handle it for no reason. It was very aggravating and very upsetting. So when the child was about 2 months old, we ended up moving. We were living in Buffalo, New York at the time, and we ended up moving back to my home state of Maine, about a 10-hour drive east, so I could be with my family, because I just needed help and I was not doing okay. That whole year, again, minus Destiny, was a train wreck. There was very, very little that was good that came out of that year. Except that we did end up moving to the apartment that we're in right now. And so my son was born in January of 2018. So in January of 2019, I remember posting on Twitter, I just want to play Destiny 2 with chill people. Why is that too much to ask? And that ended up getting retweeted about 20 or 30 times. And a ton of people just did what they do. It's just like, yeah, I want to play with you. Abby, what do you play on? Like, let me know. And I was like, holy fuck, what is this place? Like, Destiny Twitter is a thing? Like, I was very, very confused.
It is very much a thing. It's wild and untamable. and yeah.
Yeah, it's got its ups and downs, that's for sure. I'll tell you that. It is a living organism is what it is. But it was wild as shit. I was like, holy fuck, like, this is a thing. This is a fan base. This is how you meet people. It's not, random messages on Xbox or LFG groups. This is how you meet people. I initially started out as an artist. So that was in January of 2019. By March, my husband bought me, a devoted and loving husband who had dealt with my bullshit for the last year, bought me a iPad Pro and an Apple Pencil because my biggest inspirations were Stalking Sensei and Gamma Trap. And I loved their work. I loved their Sensei. Oh my god, he is so cool. He lives in New York. And he does like kind of more anime inspired Destiny art. He draws every single day, no matter what it is. Usually it's just little comics or little fun kind of grayscale things recently. And he does, more elaborate things. He does painting practices. Like he does a little bit of everything, but his thing is he draws every single day. It's always usually something Destiny related. He's got tons of original characters that are just, he's so good at telling a story with what he does. But that was his setup, was an iPad Pro, Apple Pencil, and the Apple exclusive app Procreate. So that was exactly what I got. I got in with all of them, the whole artists, the whole Destiny community artists. It's actually still in my bio, DCA Destiny community artist. That was a whole another world of people, kind of subsection of the Destiny Twitter community. And they are absolutely amazing. I still have I learned so much from all of them. Again, I got a chance to, not just, interact with and learn from, but be friends with both Sensei and Gamma. I greatly appreciate both of them, both as people, not just as artists. Because I think that's something a lot of artists struggle with, from what I've noticed, is people see them and they see their art and they're identified by their art, and all they do is, strive to create better and greater and newer and more innovative and more, I grabbed their attention so great with this one, now the next one's got to be even better. And they have a hard time. A lot of them have struggles with self-esteem and feeling like they're not worth much outside of their art. And
I could
that was something
would happen. Yeah,
that's something I really enjoyed, was being able to get to know some of them and being like, yo, like, you're an amazing person outside of your art. Your art is amazing. and I love that it's your passion. But you are, an amazing person, outside of your art, just for being the person that you are. And, you are and you deserve to take care of yourself and look after yourself and be kind to yourself outside of, your art. And but they're just it's incredible, extremely, extremely skilled, so much work, so much time that these people dedicate to this.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I really loved the time I spent with them. And there's still, I don't do it as much anymore. Basically since COVID hit, I really had a hard time doing art regularly. So it's been a little bit over a year now since I've done any art regularly, but there's still some stuff out there. It's floating around.
What do you normally draw inspiration from? What was like kind of the go-to for you? Like, so outside of like other artists, what was kind of your general style? Because I don't think I've seen any of your stuff, so I'll have to
again, it was before I got in before I was in TA, before I was friends with Log. We were mutuals for a while, but we weren't actually friends. It's again kind of exactly that, just destiny. Gamma Trap taught me a lot of technique, but I was really and truly, I absolutely loved Sensei's style and the stories that he told. So it was kind of, my guardians, my original characters, and their stories kind of in that kind of cartoony anime style.
Nice.
With what little kind of technical knowledge that I had, which is why Gamma was one of those people. I used to wake up the latter, or I guess it was summer of 2019. That was when I learned the most. Whether I actually drew the most or improved the most, I'm not really sure, but I definitely learned the most. Like, just had so much information crammed into my brain, because I would go to bed and I would wake up between 2 and 4 in the morning to watch Gamma stream, because he was working with Mylan at the time and was on Australia time.
Yeah, right.
So I would wake up, or he's still working with Mylan, but back when he was streaming, that was when he would do it. Was kind of in the middle of the night like that. When he was streaming art, I should clarify, he doesn't do, well, he kind of does it now that he's got his he was streaming very regularly at that point in time. And those were the times that I would get up, to watch him stream, and there were times when it was, 2-3 in the morning, and I would be the only one there just picking his brain apart. And he was far kinder and more generous with me than I deserved, and I'm very, very grateful.
Secrets. I need
Literally,
them now.
I'm so thankful that we're actually friends now, and I could be like, dude, you were way too nice to me. I'm so sorry. I was just a fucking little nerd who just worshipped the ground you walked on. But yeah, so I'll definitely dig some stuff up and send it to you if you want to see it. But
Yes,
it's
I
been
do.
a hot minute.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
My son's been interested in getting into, like, he does a lot of drawing and stuff. I'm like, I need to get this kid some like, because he like he's doing like a lot of pen and paper, but I want to get him into like some digital stuff as well, because he's really he wants to get into animation and stuff like that. So I'm like, yes, let's fucking nurture this shit now. Go be creative, because I can draw a fucking stick figure and like copy and paste shits on the internet, and like just like, look, I made this, and it's like it's okay. But yeah, it's good to see that he got creativeness from somewhere. Clearly fucking wasn't me, so
it's
push that.
Yeah. Procreate, again, it is Apple exclusive, but it is, and it only works on certain iPads, and is compatible with the pencil. Yeah, but it's $10. You pay $10, you own the program and all the future updates. They have added animation features to it in some of the more recent updates. It is very, 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 very well worth it. Another artist, Brian Monkus, you would know his work if you saw it. Yeah, I do know his work.
Yes,
he uses that. That is the app and the program that he uses as well. Yeah, so it's very, very versatile. If you look at the differences between, again, even Brandon Gamma Trap, even though you look at the differences in his style versus Brian Monkus versus Sensei, they all use the same program.
Sweet. So it's really versatile in the what you do. It's a really versatile
exactly.
tool for what you can use it for. That's good. That's good to know.
Especially for $10. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
It is very, very awesome. Highly, highly, highly recommend. I'm trying to think of who else I know uses it. But yeah, it's really good. Because a lot of the other art programs are subscription based.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so it's a little rougher, especially for someone starting out or someone young. You don't want to be forking over $24 a month,
No, you just wanna,
you
like,
know, for something like that.
here's
Yeah.
something to like if they really got into it, but here's something to practice and play with to see if you to get
Yeah.
into it. And then, I mean, obviously, with that program, it's like it's good enough to do some fucking incredible shit with if you've got the right mind for it.
Exactly.
And then you can worry about like where you sit with like different mediums and how you feel about it, and kind of evolve from there.
Exactly. So that was kind of how that went down. I ended up making a friend. I'm going to shout her out too, our King Glitch, because she is amazing. She she did the first before I even got the iPad. Actually, I think she did the first digital commissions of some of my characters for me. And she was like, "You should join our Discord," and I was like, "What the fuck is a Discord?" And she's like, "No, seriously, join it." And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "No, seriously, do it. We're gonna take you through raids." And I was like, "Fucking no!" But long story short, she hauled me into it, and that was my second. They weren't a clan; they were just a Discord.
Right.
But no, she hauled me into another, like a dad clan, basically. That was so much fucking. So I joined her Discord, joined her dad clan, and it was so amazing. We had such a good time with them while it lasted. And that was where I cut my PvP teeth a little bit. My husband is a PvP elitist, and and so is his was his Aussie buddy in Sydney. So they would play trials every weekend and do all these things, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna not. So I'll go be playing strikes when you guys finally fucking rage quit this shit.
I attempted trials a couple of times in D2. I got flawless once in D1, and I was like, nah, I'm done. That's it. I'm good.
We're done here.
It was Thorn and final round days where I was just being an absolute fucking dirtbag. It's like fire 2 rounds, load up final round, hard scope a lane, and just fucking wait for them. It was so fucking toxic, but I got there, damn it, and I got a shitty weapon that I didn't like, and it was fine.
And that was it. Yeah. Oh my god, I still have not done trials. My brother has tried to haul me into it a couple times, and I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. I'm not opposed to doing it, I guess, at this point, but I again, my that's later in the story. That's later in the story. We the dad clan was great. I had a buddy who who was an absolute fucking a-hole to most people, including me. But when it was just one-on-one, he would, like, every once in a while he would just be like, hey, I'm loading us into a private match. I'm gonna teach you how to shotgun. Let's go. And I was like, no. And he's like, no, come on, let's go, we're gonna do it. So he's like, I'll be nice, come on. And he was not nice. Every time I fucked it up, he shot me in the face and said, try it again. But I learned a lot. I put my I think my KD was over a 1.0.
Nice.
And I could hold my own with the rest of the guys when I was training with him regularly. So it was worth it. And then the dad clan dissolved, dropped off of that a little bit, joined back up kind of with our King Glitch, and I was like, yo, like, we have this whole kind of community Discord server of kind of creative people, whether we write or draw or stuff like that. Was her Discord. And I was like, we should start a Destiny clan. So we did. And so I was in that for a while. Kind of had some, it was mostly other people. I would have stayed, but there was just some interpersonal issues that was just like, I need to take a step back from this. Again, COVID was going on at this point. I wasn't even playing much as it was, so it was probably September of last year where I was just like, all right, and we're done here. And was kind of riding solo for a while, just hanging out with the Aussies and on Twitch mostly, because I didn't even have much time to play.
I feel that.
when I did, it was like not as many people play on Xbox in TA. There are some, but it's not as many as play on PC. And I didn't have real access to a PC at the time. My husband and I were sharing one, and I was kind of around the time I sort of started streaming too. Again, because that was kind of all I had time for was to watch other people stream. And then it was like, well, I guess if I'm going to play, I might as well make the most of it and hang out with the people, because again, I can't hang out with them in game. Maybe they can turn up, to stream like I do, and we can hang out that way at least. I really just saw Twitch as kind of another social media at that point. It was just another way to connect with people that I didn't normally have a chance to.
Yeah, I can't count the amount of times that like just Twitch has saved like a lot of my sanity, like especially during the COVID shutdown. Because I just ended up going, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll stream like as often as possible, because I just kind of replaced it with work, because I have an issue with workaholism, and
I feel that.
So like that I think we were on the shutdown for about 4 months, and that is the longest point, the longest time in my life I've ever not worked, and I was bad, in real bad shape after about the first 3 weeks, because I'm like, all right, holidays over, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do? And I always like to keep busy, and I have nothing. I was like, fuck, so I'll just keep streaming, and like, oh boy, it was and then you get to a point. It's like, is this too much? And you start questioning that, and it wasn't a fun place to be in. But thankfully, I'm back at work, hating myself, which is great.
I was about to say I retweeted something from the Australian PAX account today that was like, oh yeah, tickets going on sale, it's gonna be in person in October. Like, I was like, you guys are amazing, how the fuck did you do this? Like, you all like give me fucking hope. That and freaking I think it's Electric Nick. It's like, oh, we've only, no active cases in Victoria that aren't outside of quarantine or whatever for, however many weeks in a row or whatever. I'm like, you people give me so much hope. Like, I wake up every day like, oh my God, like we might end up being like you guys someday. Like, you guys are the light at the end of the tunnel that is my life currently. Because this is, fuck China at this point. This is the American virus now. Like, we're just a hot mess express, and we always will be. So it's just we're doing forward.
It's really interesting to watch someone that's like even like our state, my state in particular. We had no major issues like Victoria or Sydney did, but yeah, just like watching everything go on is just this weird perspective, because you're in like this little bubble, and it's like this is so fucking bizarre. Like we watch like friends and stuff down in Victoria go through it all, and it's like, fuck, this is fucked. And then like you take a step back and you look at other countries like America, Britain. You guys are still like in heavy fucking lockdown, massive restrictions. They're cutting off alcohol. They're putting alcohol limits on Britain at the moment, which is fucking dangerous.
That's insult to injury at the moment. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the hard thing too, because like for all the restrictions that we do have, I look at people like, I just remember, it just blows my fucking mind still. I was talking to Daniel one day, DNF Deadman, and he was like, I was like, how's work going or whatever, and he's like, oh, no work today. I was like, what are you talking about? He lives in Southern Australia, I believe, and I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh no, we had an active case. Everyone's in quarantine for 5 days. One person can leave the house only if we need to, and no work. And I was like, what? Really? Because they told us we had 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and everyone was going to stay home. And here we are going on a year now, and everyone's just, basically we were just kind of told, just do the right thing, without anyone to tell us what the right thing was to do, and also nobody to enforce it. Yeah. So I'm like, I almost wish, I do wish, and I know it's difficult because there's a lot more people here. It's about the same landmass size, but we have the whole center of your country is just desert.
It's just barren with nothing. It's just
it's a little bit different.
Sand can't get COVID, so they're good.
And yeah, so it's just like, I don't know, like that was just like so shocking to me. Of just like, what do you mean we're toppling with cases every single fucking day, and they've just stopped reporting on it at this point. And everyone's like, oh yeah, we're opening this, we're opening that, things are getting better. It's like, no, we've just kind of stopped caring at this point, and that is not a good thing.
I'm actually
it's just a
curious
mess.
if you guys will run out of people to actually catch the virus, because the numbers are so staggering every day, and you're just like,
yeah,
when does it get to the point where there's no more people left? Because fuck,
it's probably going to have to be the case. I mean, my husband got it. My husband had it the first week of the year, of the new year. Yeah. My son and I somehow managed to not get it. I don't really know what happened with that.
So weird.
We were again, it wasn't like he was quarantined or anything. But we were cautious. We have leather couches, so he would kind of flip between the bedroom and the couch, and I would like Clorox wipe the couch down when he was done. When he would go back into the bedroom, and obviously I slept on the couch for a couple like for 2 weeks or whatever. But that was quite the experience. Truly, that's kind of where I was coming to next. So join TA, love you all to death. Ended up joining. There was a streamer who kept popping up, or not streamer, but a viewer who kept popping up in my streams and a lot of the other TA guys streams, and I thought he was a bot because he was just there all the time and he never said anything. And I ended up finally this again person that I thought was a bot, but I was like, oh, they're not. I followed them, and they went live one day. And I was like, oh, it's this Aussie guy, and he doesn't use a face cam, but he plays Destiny. And I was like, yo, you, like, how's it going? And
I found you.
we ended up having a conversation. His name is Defective Prawn. And he is a Defense Force veteran, and he has a brain injury. And he and I don't know what fucking happened, but I swear, just straight glued ourselves to each other's hips. And he has been my best friend. When Mark got COVID, and again, I was kind of trapped out on the couch, just like I can't go, same kind of deal. Like I can't go to work. I'm trapped with my child all day, again, with the whole postpartum depression thing under, in my past, yep. Being stuck at home by myself with my child, not a good thing for me. With my husband who can't help, like no one can come over and help me. I can't take him anywhere. We were not looking at a recipe for anything good for me. It just, so Remus would go to bed. It's my son. Remus would go to bed. Mark had been sleeping kind of all day. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, I'm going to play games. I'm going to do something. Like, I'm going to, do something for myself here that's not do dishes or do the laundry or watch YouTube or whatever. And Sean was just there absolutely every step of the way. And was, I'd get to the end of the day, oh, you want to play games? You want to do whatever? I'm like, honestly, dude, I am fucking cooked. I can't do anything. So we just hung out and we would just talk for hours at a time. And we ended up watching, we found this fucking picture online that was like, if you start Star Wars Episode 4 at this specific time, the Death Star will explode at midnight. So we did that on New Year's because I was quarantined for New Year's. My husband's passed out in his bed because he's got fucking COVID and my kid's asleep. So we watched the Death Star explode on New Year's. And
I mean, is there any better way to I mean, given circumstances, watching Death Stars explode is pretty fucking good.
It was awesome. And it was just such like, it wasn't his midnight, it was my midnight. I should just clarify that because we're obviously 16 hours
time zones.
The time zones. But it was just great. Like it really kind of solidified like, this is a person that's going to be there for you and look out for you, and is a real friend, when you're not doing very well and doesn't want anything from you except, for you to be okay. And and I feel that way about all my friends, but it's not as often that I come across someone that I just mesh with so well. But so he was in TA too. He is in TA still. So we just that was just kind of how that went down. And that is like I had someone just ask me today, like, are you Australian? Are you from, like, he is the reason I, get confused. I get people confused sometimes, I think, because just between, how often we talk and the way he talks and stuff like that, it's rubbed off on me really bad at this point. But yeah, so when he was in defense, he was a medic. So in talking about all that, that's kind of what got me into, I would just sit, listen, and tell stories about all that. And that kind of got me thinking about, I have some medical background. My mom's a nurse. I was a what we call a nurse's assistant over here. I'm not really sure what would be a comparable thing over there.
I'm not sure either, actually.
But yeah, I don't even think we've fully figured it out yet. It's like it's a step above a bed pusher, but not a whole ton, truly. And all that said, it is a certification. You have to pass a test for and stuff like that, and you operate under, the license of a nurse, basically, and of a registered nurse. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I think, I have the cut again. I think Sean really drove it home, but over the past, several months of, just being in the clan, having friends who, were just, you guys are just such a unique people. But the Destiny community, like, it was just something else. And it was just a real, I guess I just wasn't used to that kind of just support and feeling comfortable around people just being myself, and just people who were okay with just me being me. And that really gave me the confidence. And again, with 2 weeks off and doing already kind of in a life situation I didn't think I could handle, was kind of like, well, you handled this, so what's next? And I was like, I think I might want a career again, and I think I can make it out of this medical shit. And
get out there and save some fucking lives, all right?
I mean, and again, it's gonna be like a real, like, trial by fire type thing. But so I decided I wanted to do that. The first week of January, I was like, worst case scenario, I go back to my job at the gas station that I absolutely love to death. I'm making less money and there's no career opportunities in it, but it's not like I'm going to have no way to make money.
Yeah, it's stability, which is always something to look for. I was same kind of thing. I was like, well, this job's but it's like, I mean, I have a career and what I do, but the particular position I took, I was like, I could have taken something else, but it was less stable because it's with a larger company, and I'm so glad I did, because I moved to Brisbane from New South Wales. We got here 1 month before COVID hit and we got shut down. I'd been working for like a month and a half because I'd moved up a few weeks earlier. I had the wife and kids. And if I'd taken another, like, just a casual, like, because if I'd taken, I think there's another job I was looking at with an independently owned restaurant, and they've shut down. And I'm like, I have fucking dodged a major fucking bullet here. I'm so glad.
That you did. That you did. I do need to clarify too. Again, Sean and I are in a Discord call. I literally Googled map of Australia, and he broke down, okay, here's where the states are, here's where I live, here's where this person we know lives, here's where this, you throw this name out, here's where it actually is. And we spent a solid 40 minutes of him breaking down the geography of your country for me.
You probably know it better
again
than
the
I
only
do
reason I know. You should see my phone, actually. Where the fuck is it? I have all the time zones in my world clock on my phone, so I can keep an eye on where,
it's WA. I'm fine with it until daylight savings hit, and then I'm fucked.
Yeah, because then half of
WA's 2 hours.
Oh my god.
Because Queensland doesn't have it. Which is really fucking good, because you don't have to worry about clock changes, but you have to worry about everybody else's fucking clock changes. Is like, all right, so because there's like New South Wales is an hour, And then South Australia is like an hour and a half or half an
Yes.
hour, and then Perth is fuck Perth. I mean, I've got friends in Perth. But fuck Perth.
I mean,
They're a different country as far as I'm concerned. They can stay if they do their own thing, and I was like, it's okay. I'll find you. But it's good because most of the people I know, like because of the time difference, because I work weird hours, I don't get home till like 11 o'clock. They're like just getting on, so that's when I like. That's how I met a lot of those guys as well. It's just like, oh, there's people awake at this time. This is fucking great.
It's kind of neat too here too, because I like, and that's again why I think why I enjoyed why I was so religious in log streams and chats for a while, because I would I would wake up in the morning, I would roll over, and he would have just gone live within the last hour, so I'd just be like sliding my phone up, hi guys, how you going? Like, you know, that was how I would wake up every 3 days a week. I think it was for me it was like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then Destiny Down Under was live Friday night my time. So it was like always right around 8 a.m. my time that got me to haul my fat ass out of bed. Was, you know, I'll go, you know, saying, you know, my good morning, but, you know, good evening, the guys, how was your day, blah blah blah. Like, so circling back around, I guess, to the whole medical field thing, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I went from not even remotely considering this, you know, not having the confidence or the, you know, mental stability to even consider, you know, it was hard enough to, you know, keep my kid alive and show up at my own job, you know, to kind of being like, yo, you could do something else. You really could. You just haven't wanted to badly enough, and you haven't, like, again, for me specifically, everyone has different reasons why they do the things that they do, but for me it was simply a matter of I needed to be in control all the time, and I didn't like the idea of trying anything new. And my whole family struggles with, I think a lot of people do, struggles with the whole aspect of are we really suffering badly enough to garner any life change? Can't you just do this for a little bit longer? Like, is it really that bad?
That's
fine.
That's how I ended up the way I am. I've been a chef for 20 years. I'm not doing anything else. This is me. I'm done. I'm dying. I'm dying in a kitchen somewhere.
But that's still a career, though. Like,
it is, and it's good. But I'm too institutionalized to try everything, because every time, like, you get a bit burnt out. It's like, fuck, I don't want to do this fucking job anymore. Fuck this bullshit. I want regular hours, 9 to 5. And, all right, let's see what we can do. And you start looking like, nope,
and we're done here.
Didn't finish school. Nope. Fuck.
Yeah, I had limited healthcare experience when I was 17, and got out of it after 8 months and was like, yeah, nope, I'm done. This is not for me. And I've essentially drifted aimlessly for the last 8 years. And then finally was just like, okay, were you bad at the job, or were you just 17 and didn't know how to deal with people? You know,
age
so
has
that
a lot to do with that. Like, people change, like, especially over like a large course of time, especially through teens as well. Like, when you're like, everything is so in so much turmoil, emotionally, physically, you're going through so much. Trying to make decisions about everything you do from here on out is a little tough, and I don't think you realize that until you're an adult. Like, my mom didn't find her career till she was like 40. And before then, she was just kind of doing whatever, and then she found what she loved doing, and she went for it, and she's been kicking ass at it ever since. Sometimes it takes people time, and that's okay, as long as you get there, right?
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of where we're at right now, and then because that was the thing too. Once I was like, okay, you're doing this. This is what we're going to do right now, and you are going to, you know, because I have that kind of energy. I don't have a lot of patience, but I have that I will burn this fucking world to the ground energy. You know, as long as I don't let myself burn out. And that was literally just kind of exactly how this went down. And I was just like, all right, you know, again, if everything sucks, you could just go back to Lakeside and everything will be fine. You know, you can just go back to the gas station, everything will be fine. And but I went from, again, not even considering this is a possibility again, to being hired in 2.5 months.
That is insane. Also, fucking well done. You're a champion.
Thank you. Yeah, so and I have one more day of orientation tomorrow. No, sorry, Wednesday. So 2 days from now for me. And then I hit the ground running. I have my first 12-hour shift the day after that. So
shifts are the best. Are you doing like a split, or is it just like a straight through?
Oh no, it's 12 hours. Straight 12.
That's
Yep,
the
7 to
shit.
7. It'll yeah, but it's nothing that a little bit of coffee and a couple smokes can't handle. I have a very realistic expectation here.
Look, as someone that does 12-hour shifts like 5 days a week,
yeah,
you will be fucked for like the first 3 months. After that, you'll be slightly less fucked, but you'll still be forever fucked. But it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like
you'll be used to being fucked at that point.
You'll be used to being fucked by that point, and you're just like, all right. I like you'll know what to expect. But yeah, expect like nothing but coming home, just going and passing out.
500% pain.
Yeah.
My cancer preference.
Yeah. You start to use the pain and suffering to fuel your energy, and it becomes this hellish cycle of causing pain to have energy, and then you're fine. It's great. It's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine.
And like that's the thing too. I guess coming from, again, looking back over, just kind of that mental health struggle of just, I am worthless. I can't do anything right. I have no support. I have no nothing. I have this one job and I suck ass at it. Anything beyond that is kind of, once I got over the initial kind of like having to kind of, I guess, get out of that and, heal mentally and emotionally a little bit from that by doing, a relatively easy job. Just kind of a basic customer service job that I was familiar with. And then again, just having friends like Sean really ended up driving home the, you are valuable, you can do this, that you have support, we've got your back, like you are going. He's already told me, he's like, you have a 40-minute drive home and a 40-minute drive there. You're gonna call me, you're gonna tell me all these stories, we're gonna talk, it's gonna be great. Like I just like there's so much. Again, like looking back, that 17-year-old me did not like that, needed and wanted so badly in order to do that job, and I did not have it. And
purpose and drive. Purpose could be like a hell of a driving force, especially when it comes to like to big changes like this. Like once you feel that kind of like, this is giving me that purpose that I need, you're like, all right, I can do this. This is why I'm doing this. I have the motivation, and now I know I can do it. And once you start, it'll really kick in, I think, for you, and you'll love it.
I'm really excited, and like that's the thing too. Like even with with the orientation that I had today, I got absolutely just racked. Like I'm driving my boy to daycare, and I knew I had to kind of brush it off because I know he can sense it, and I was just, like I just got so anxious for no reason. We're just like, it's a Zoom orientation, like you're gonna be fine. But it was like, and I knew not to let it get in my head at this point, because that's the thing too. I would just sit there and just like, even just a year ago. But it was like, nope, you're going to be the new kid, and being the new kid sucks, but you're going to get over it, and you're going to be fine. And it's just a matter of dedicating that. You can't just burn the world to the ground here. You have to give it time, and giving things time sucks, but that's the only way it's going to get better. And I think that applies to a lot of things right now. We just you have to do the right thing, and you just have to give it time. So kind of where we're at the moment. But yeah.
Awesome. One thing we haven't spoken about yet. Talk to me about Destiny Unfiltered. How did it go? I mean, I know. I kind of know kind of how some things came about. I know why you're there specifically. I did a little bit of research, not much though.
I don't know why I'm there specifically. I was told I was working with tits, and that's how I ended up there. That was my official explanation for that.
Fucking great. I love it. So yeah, how did that all go, and like how's that going?
I was contacted by Ryan and asked do you would you like to come on? Or actually, I think it was Josh actually was like, hey, we'd love to have you as a guest, blah, blah, blah. And Ryan started talking to me about stuff, what's your specs, what's your setup, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh yeah, kind of got this computer that we built in 2013. It's a little rough, but it's if it's good enough for the guys I go out with type thing. And he was like, yeah, okay, we just have a couple questions to ask you about the podcast. And again, that's how that got started. And then he said, have you ever considered being a host? And I was like, on this podcast or in general? And he's like, just in general. And I was like, do you ask everybody this question? And he was like, yes. Well, not always. And I was like, what do you want from me? And he's like, Discord, call me. So I did. And we ended up talking, and they were just in the business, looking for, Ricky had to kind of drop off again because of COVID. He ended up getting a different job that is continuing to max his sanity. He's another person that I'm just like, my dude, I don't know how you live your life, but you're fucking amazing. Because he just works too much. And so I've heard rumors that he told them to contact me. I don't necessarily believe that. I'm not sure. I don't know necessarily how they ended up with me, but one of the rumors is that, I guess that he told them to ask me. It was just kind of a, we need another person. We want it to be more than, two middle-aged guys talking about video games and movies and stuff like that. We want a different perspective. Initially we wanted someone else, but she's too busy too. We've wanted a girl for a while. And again, like, I don't know how blasted he was when he said it, but it was literally like 2 episodes ago or last episode. Ryan was like, look, you're basically Ricky with tits. I was like, okay, that's fair. You're not wrong.
I'll take the title. It's fine.
Because that was the thing too. I was like, you want me to fill Ricky's shoes, and those are giant fucking shoes to fill.
Yeah,
I can't.
Fuck no. And thinking about that is daunting as fuck, because he has such a fucking massive personality.
Yeah, and I was just like,
no way.
I couldn't, and I just that was the thing too. Like, I was like, I hope you guys are aware. Again too, like, I was there's like, oh yeah, we want more, female guests and want more representation and stuff like that. I was like, I can't. You haven't hung out with me very much, but I'm not the patron saint of female gamers. I'm just not. I can't. I have my history has given me a lot of struggles with building female relationships. Which is probably why I get along so well in the gaming sphere, because I have major raging only girl syndrome. And I'm not even scared to admit it at this point. It's just, it is what it is. I'm more comfortable, again, with guys for the most part. Again, just based on my history, and just the issues I've had with the female relationships in my life in the past. So like that was something I had to make very clear to them. I'm like, if you expect me to, herald some girls only section of your Discord or whatever, or bring you all these female guests, you're gonna they got another thing coming, bitch, because that's not happening. Like, I just hope you're aware. And they're like, no, that's fine. But then that was my other thing was, if you want me to fill Ricky's shoes, that is not happening either. So good luck with that. And they're like, no, it's fine.
Own thing. If you don't like it, deal with it.
Literally. And I was just like, well, because that's what's the thing Ryan said too. He was like, you get out there and you put yourself out there, and you're just kind of, you just are what you are. And, who can argue with that, and it's just kind of, it's no holds barred with you. And the people who, and I think that's where Ricky and I are similar, because it's just, I am who I am as a person. I'm not going to be or do anything special, and the people who are good with that, will continue to turn up from that, and the ones who don't can get back.
They're good. Whatever.
That's how we go. And yeah, so that's how that's been for the last little bit.
Last little bit.
However long it's been, a few months at this point.
Because I tried because as part of my whole routine of getting guests on and chatting to them, I have to do the obligatory light stalking, and I went
oh god, what other bits did you dig up on me?
Nothing. You're too
okay,
fantastic for that.
I know it's out there.
Yeah, because I went to go find because I knew you were on Unfiltered. I'm like, all right. And I couldn't find any episodes, so I went back and went to like the audio ones, and I couldn't find. I think the last one was Lady Disturbed. I think. No, someone.
It was a while. Yeah,
it was a while back. I think it was like in January or something.
Yeah, before I got
shit. And then I went to the Twitch and I found the most recent one.
Oh god!
I'm like. It was fucking great. I loved it. I was laughing my ass off on the train. But
so glad.
Oh, it was you and Cheese.
Yes, I have.
I almost used that as the intro tonight because I always like to find something that kind of works in. And then when you and I were chatting the other day, you did the Wild Shearer internet thing. I'm like, I can't not use that.
It's like, clipped.
Gotta use that one. That is mine now. All your base belong to us.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad. Like, again, I play my own streams back sometimes just to make sure the audio sounds okay and figure out, where I'm absolutely blasting the mic out and because I'm a very loud person.
Yeah.
But I usually watch our episodes back so that that makes me really happy that that you found them funny.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
Did you have a guest on? Oh my god, it was Raz?
Yeah, it was Raz. Yeah, she was doing
good. That was
the
really
resin thing.
One.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. It was funny as shit.
She is a delight, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, she's lots of fun. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so glad you liked it. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I love doing that. That has been something that's been a lot of fun and has really I think that was another thing too that I really forgot to mention early on, because I going into the entertainment world as a younger person, and taking off a little bit, especially as a girl, that was something Josh told me. It was just like, like, we're gonna be honest, we get DMs about you. We get, rude, kind of snarky, kind of inappropriate, kind of, you whatever about you. And we're not letting you read them because you're gonna have a complex. But like you have friends, you have people here, I have spent a lot of my life looking out for everybody else.
Yeah.
And that is again just has been such a huge shot to the confidence. Again, Josh looks me in the face. He's like, you've got a lot of big brothers here. We're all looking out for you, and and we want to see you do well. And that is, again, from someone who's used to, just leave me alone, everybody, leave me alone. I'll do it myself, and it'll be fine. Like it's nice to have. It's definitely a lot of comfort and a lot of security and reassurance. And you don't have to be, the most stable or the best example in the world to, have someone look up to you and appreciate you. And I guess I just hope everyone that I'm close with knows that, because everyone they between the clan and the podcast guys, like, the Evolve meant the world to me, and it's definitely changed my life in a lot of ways. So me as a person, which is cool. So
that is fucking awesome. I mean, the power of the internet right there, ladies and gentlemen. Changing lives, making friends. It's fucking great. Love to see it.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad for the internet because it's the only friends I have now. because I don't have time for real people. So you want to go drinking? I'm like, no, fuck that. I've got beer at home. What do I know? Ew, outside where the floors are sticky? No. Fuck that shit. I mean, as well as like being a parent too. Like he's like, I don't have time. I don't finish work. He's like, oh, look at all this spare fucking time I have. He's like, oh, go home, see the partner, hang with the kids. And then he's like, oh, I should sleep at some point. And then you're like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, then he like zombieing out on the couch at 9:30. He's like, fuck.
Like you get home and say, oh, this is a really good movie. You put it on, it takes you 3 weeks to watch it because you keep falling asleep in the first fucking 10 minutes. I couldn't even get through a fucking episode of WandaVision the other week. I was like out in 35, out in like I think like 20-minute episodes. I couldn't even get through it. I'm like, what the fuck? Eventually, but it's like, this is fucking ridiculous. I think my record was 8 times trying to watch the first episode of The Walking Dead.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
It's fucking...
That is... Yeah, I don't have that beat. We were trying to watch through, we're watching through the Stargate SG-1 series again, which has 11 seasons. We watched it when I was pregnant, and we just recently broke it back out again. And I shared something on Facebook, I think, and tagged my husband where it was just like, you're a parent when you decide to binge watch something, it takes you 20 years. It's like, basically, it's kind of us with Stargate, because Sean was watching it through too, and he and I are working on Atlantis and Archer, and we have a whole fucking laundry list of Australian movies and TV shows and stuff like that, and all these other things I need to watch.
Archer's fucking great. I love Archer.
Oh my god, I've been loving it so far. But yeah, he's like, I'm like, oh yeah, we're at this point in Stargate or whatever. He's like, oh seriously? He's like, I finished it like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, listen, mister.
You motherfucker. You forget everything from the last 3 weeks and you fucking watch it again with me, damn it.
Basically, I'm like, sir. We are low-key drowning over here because we're lucky if we can chip through one and a half, maybe 2 episodes a night. He and I started Atlantis because I'm like, there's no way, like, you are going to blast through all 11 seasons of SG-1 before I can finish season 3. Yeah. So we can start Atlantis together, but
you're on your own with the other one. I'll catch up eventually. It'll be fun.
Literally, though. I mean, I've seen it all before, so that's a good thing. But yeah, Archer is new for me. He loves Archer though, so I think we did. I think I actually did. I think I did crash out on the couch actually because we were listening to. Oh God, what's his name? He's gonna kill me. The guy who sings. He's a comedian. He's hilarious.
Oh yes, I know the guy that sings. Well.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Bloody hell! Did he send me? I don't even have my phone. Fucking hell! We were just fucking cracking up and watching Archer, and we were listening to. I'll send. You'll know who he is. It's very popular. I don't remember his name.
It's fine.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. But yeah, that's just kind of how that's been going recently. It's just when I'm not passing out in the middle of Stargate, I'm passing out on Discord calls in the middle of Archer and watching comedians.
I don't think I've done Discord calls yet. Not yet, anyway.
Really?
Almost did it on stream once. I was like, oh no, time to go. Bye, guys. Moving live for an hour. I'm fucking tired. Good night.
Fun stream story. Now that you bring it up, the VOD is this is the dirt I thought you were finding. The VOD exists. It is. Oh no, it doesn't. I haven't streamed for more than 2 months. It's lost to the sands of time. Thank Christ. I did a drunk stream. And ended up stopping the stream about 14 seconds before I vomited all over my guest room. And everyone, my brother and all his mates are in my headset. And I rip it off, and all I hear is them going, Molly, what? Oh, what the fuck is she doing? And I'm like lying on the air mattress in the guest room, like, I'm dying, guys. Everything's fine. Slept in my makeup, woke up the next morning, took my kid to daycare because I am responsible. And yeah, that's the end of that. But yes. No, 2020 taught me how to drink, taught me what my tolerance was. Yeah. Apparently, it is 3 vitamin waters with 2 shots of Tito's in each of them. 3.
That's fine. You see, the thing is, what you do now, you know your limit. You just slightly push it every time. Now, just a little bit more, and then before you know it, you're drinking people under the table. You're like, I drank myself sober once. That was fucking weird. Like, oh man, like I was out. We'd been drinking for like, I want to say about 14 hours, 15 hours.
Oh my God, and you people can fucking drink, I swear. Like no other people I've ever seen.
This is like 18, 19. Like I do that. I had 3 beers and I'm fucking asleep on the couch now. It's like fucking done. But yeah, I just kind of like, I'm drinking. I'm like, everything is normal. This is really weird. Someone get me shots. Let's go. Oh jeez! I think that was like a 2.5 day bender. It was fucking wild. Oh man, hospitality
God.
people are insane. Because I was at TAFE, and so this is all the apprentices, and we had the weekend off, and none of us like really lived where we were, so we just like, right, we know no one here. Someone invited us around the house. Like, the only deal is you have to cook for us. I'm like, fucking done. And they just supplied us with booze, and it was we found a pub that was open to 7 in the morning. I was impressed. Like
that is pretty impressive.
Kept rolling around from the club, and there's like, oh, there's a pub open in an hour, like 4 blocks down the road. It's like, yes, carry on.
Ironically enough, I grew up very religious, and did not actually make it to a bar until I was 25. I think it was October of this past year. There was one tiny hole in the wall. Well, I should not be sharing this story. It's not one of my better moments. Yeah. My brother invited my dad, and he was like, nah, I'm not gonna go. I was like, I want to go. And he was like, okay, yeah, we got a couple friends from, my brother's 2 years younger than me. 2 years? No, God, fuck. He just turned 22, 3 years younger than me. Almost 4. His dad is 4 years younger than me. He's 22 right now. I'm going to be 26. That's 4 years. Fucking hell.
So I don't remember.
He's more responsible than I am.
Fine.
He's more responsible than I am. This is embarrassing. But he was like, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah, that'll be fine. You can go. Some of our friends, from, some of the ones you went to high school with will be there. And, some of the ones, that were a couple years younger that he grew up with, will be there. And it'll be fun. It's just this little tiny hole in the wall in the middle of the woods. And the girl got herself clapped. Could not drive my van home. My brother works for a towing company, so he got it. He told them there was something wrong with the wheel bearing or whatever, and had them tow it. He's like, I did not tell them you were blasted. He went out to call the towing company. Comes back in. I'm making out with his best friend. He was like, all right, no, you're going home now.
Time to stop right there.
And he's like, you are married. The last thing I remember is like, screaming, I love you, Nick. Out the door. And I hadn't even had all that much. It was really bad. He was like, you are faking. He's like, stop faking. There's no way you're blasted off of, 2 12-ounce cups of Tito's and juice and 2 hard ciders. Like, you're fine. I'm like, I'm really not, though. So, and he again thought we were fine until, again, I'm rolling down the again. It's not one of my better moments. Don't judge me, people.
No judgment here at all. Just great stories. I love it.
We're rolling down the street, and I'm hanging out the window yelling, fuck the police. And he's like, get in here. He rolls up the window, puts the child lock on. He's like, okay, you may be a little further gone than I initially realized. So he gets me in. On my couch, and my husband's like, did you guys have fun? He's like, oh yeah, she's fine, she'll be fine.
She'll be fine. It's fine. You'll be right.
Needless to say, I'm not allowed out to the bar without my husband or my brother anymore. But thankfully I don't have to get around. I don't have to worry about it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Supervision is necessary, but that's all right.
Yeah, especially for me, apparently. Oh, good fucking times. I swear, if we ever get Guardian Con again, I have to be careful. Lots of chaperones. Keep an eye on Molly, because I will just
just having whole entourage, just people just like.
I know enough people at this point. It would be great. And just like,
right?
Well, I'm not the type of person that I am. So I made that sound like, oh, I know all these people, but it's like when I was in I lived up in the mountains with 5 other kids. It was called college, but it wasn't, or with 500 other kids. It wasn't college. It was more like kind of a culty thing. It's a long story. But I was the kind of person who would always sit at a round table because you can fit for meals because you can fit as many people as you want at a round table. I have a hard time with you're not part of our group. You're not part of this. You're not part of that. You can't, we're friends, but we're not this type, this close friends, like there's always room. There's always room for more people. Anyone who wants to sit with us can sit with us. Anyone who wants to, and I guess that's why I get along with, with all the TA guys so well, is because I think everyone's attitude is kind of like that for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's not that I know so many people. It's that I want to get along with everybody, and I want everybody else to get along with each other too. And I don't have any of those hangups that are like, oh well, have we known you for 5+ weeks? Have you done this, that, and the other thing to be part of this group or whatever? It's like no, like you want to hang out,
my
chill, you're nice to everybody. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, have you been to this many of my streams and done this, that, and that? It's like
just
no.
Set up a Gleam.io, not for a giveaway, just like. This is how you get in. If you can do all these things, you're in.
It's just, I don't know. Are you nice to me? Are you nice to everybody else? Are you interesting? Do you add to the conversation? Do you, there's room for everybody. And that's how I make most of my connections, is just what you see is what you get. And, your girl has room and love in her heart for absolutely everyone, as long as you're not a deviant scumbag. So,
yeah, fuck them. They're all cunts.
Cunts I can deal with.
This is true.
Yeah, I think that's the breaks, mate. That's I wouldn't even know where to go from here. You got a couple embarrassing drunk stories, the whole rundown of my Destiny career, and
we've
what I'm doing with my life currently.
I'm gonna get this transcribed in the book, and we'll use this
is
as
the Dan Finity of podcast of my life. Weirdly enough, make it on Dan Finity, but
weirdly enough, do you want to know a funny story? I got the inspiration. 2 things. I got the inspiration from this podcast from his Side Quest Sundays. Secondly, next week.
Wait, what?
He may be on next week. I'm recording with you in like 12 hours.
Yeah, your mic got cut off for a second. I didn't hear you.
I whispered, it didn't work. Fucking noise gates. Fuck you. But yeah, so I've got a recording with him in like 12 hours. Because I need to pre-record because I've got my 10th wedding anniversary next week.
Oh wow. Dude,
yeah, I'm
how
old.
Are you?
33.
Okay, it's not that old.
I'm kids have aged me. I've got 3 kids that they age you hard. But yeah, no, yeah, we've been together.
You could pass for 23.
Oh, actually, yeah, thanks. I get that a bit. People are like, no way, you're old. I'm like, no, I am. I'm youthful at heart. I'm just a fucking giant child.
You know what? And I think a lot of you are, and that's why I love you guys. Again, my best friend's 38, so it's like it does. Yeah. Ricky's 42, 43. Sorry, Ricky, doxing you over here, but and Ryan and Josh are same. Early mid 40s. I hang out with people older than me now. Y'all are easier to hang out with. You cut to the chase. Good, no time.
We've seen enough. We've seen enough shit. It's like, no, we're not dealing with the bullshit anymore. We ain't got enough time.
Literally, bullshit tolerance is just non-existent, and I love it. Yeah. Oh my god, I love it. Cool.
Speaking of bullshit, we're gonna talk about some free games and stuff. That's the worst segue ever. Fuck it. I'm just going with it. It's fine. So every week we do freebies and deals that are coming up on various fucking places. So again, as if for pitch the fuck in, just interrupt if you know games or you want to just rant about them or whatever. Let me find them because I have a habit of scrolling my mouse wheel as a thing that I like to fiddle. Yep.
I feel that.
Yep. So,
well, Destiny's my main game, so if I even recognize anything, I'll be like, "Oh, that's that thing."
That's the thing. I know that thing.
I've heard good things. Pretty much all I do on Unfiltered is I've heard good things.
So, over on PlayStation this week, your freebies for the month, and I believe this is the last week. So, guys, if you want to go grab these, go and fucking grab these because PlayStation have been bringing the fucking heat with free games the last few weeks. We have Final Fantasy VII Remake. Remnant from the Ashes. Yeah, I've downloaded Final Fantasy. I've never played one. And people are like, if you have to play, it's like some great gamer sin that I haven't played Final Fantasy. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll get there eventually. I have it downloaded. I own it. It'll happen. That and Souls games. I'm still getting pushed to play one of those too. Then we have Remnant from the Ashes. And then Destruction All-Stars and Farpoint, which is a VR space exploration game, which seems kind of neat if you've got the VR kit. Could be a lot of fun. And then we have Maquette on PS5, first-person puzzle kind of game, which looks fucking gorgeous. Our deal over on PlayStation this week is Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. It's down to $64.96. Relatively new game. I think it's down from like $80, which isn't much. But still, it's good. Yeah.
Okay. I'm used to people bitching about shelling out 60 for Destiny season drops, right. So or like yearly drops. So I was like,
oh, you want a new game? That's $120. Fuck you.
God, you're right. I'm forgetting
So these are all Australian prices. So if you divide them by 10. In the States.
How much do you guys shell out for something like Shadowkeep or
Shadowkeep was Shadowkeep was $40 or $50. I think.
Okay.
It's been a while. It's about
like those big drops like that. They usually average around 65, 60-ish American. So
yeah, which is about $80 for us roughly. And it's not even all conversion rate. There's like the government is like, fuck you, we're taxing video games. It's like,
no, that's fair. I mean, they're fucking charging you $43 for a carton of cigarettes over there. It's fucking bullshit. That's
I quit smoking when the prices started going up. I'm like, nah, fuck this shit. And that was back when they were like charging $15 for a 25 pack. I was like, I'm fucking done.
I paid 10 for a 20.
Oh my god. Wow.
I'm bitching about smoking the ritzy ones that cost, $10 a pack, and Sean's like, shut up.
Shut up. I have to take out a mortgage.
From my Benson and Hedges over here. Actually, I think they're more than that.
Yeah, B&H are expensive. I used to smoke them a bit.
Yeah, you and your ritzy smokes, Sean.
Right. Over on Xbox this week, our Game Pass pick of the week is Prey, which is fucking fantastic horror exploration game. I had a lot of fun with that one, mostly because it gave me a shotgun, and that makes me the happiest person in the world. If I can punch shit and teabag and shotgun,
you made Titan, don't you?
Yeah. I started as a hunter, and then I was like,
I can see that too, actually. Yeah.
My oldest child, he was like, oh, I want to play. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll start you off on a character. I can't because you want to be Hulk smash. So we go around smashing shit with the Titan, and I was like, you know what? This is kind of fun. And now it's my main character, which I've carried through from Destiny 1.
Believe it.
Yeah, and it's like I don't play anymore as much, but like that Titanism, like it's just me in a nutshell now. I just punch and shoot shit with shotguns, and I'm happy.
I love it.
Games with gold this week, we have Warface Breakout, Dundara Trials of Fear Edition, which is apparently quite good from what I've heard, and Metal Slug 3, which is an older classic 360 game. It's a twin stick shooter. You guys have heard the spiel on those in the last few weeks. Again, last week's to grab these ones. They should change next week. Hopefully I can read into the future and predict them for next episode, because I won't be doing it on the week. We'll see how it goes. It'll be fun. I'll find my magic ball, see if it's not fucking broke. Deals with gold this week. We have the Outer Worlds, the board approved bundle for $92.91. So this gets you the Outer Worlds base game and all the DLC, which they just dropped a new one a couple of weeks ago. It's like a murder mystery kind of deal. It looks fucking cool. It's the shit. I love the Outer Worlds. When I played it was great. RPGs are great. Over on the Switch this week, Capcom are having a sale, so you can pick up titles like Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3, Dragon's Dogma, Mega Man 11, Mega Man X Legacy Collection, Phoenix Wright Ace Eternity Trilogy, Resident Evil Revelations, all between $5 and $20. So you love Capcom games. Fucking Devil May Cry is great. It's so good.
I've heard good things.
A very good thing. I've heard good things. That's exactly it. I will tell you, they are good things. Dragon's Dogma is pretty good as well, from what I've heard too. Over on the Epic Store, our last freebie for the week is The Fall. It's a 2D action adventure game where you play as a robotic suit that has to carry a human through these dark, danger levels. What was that?
I think I've heard of that.
Really?
Curious.
Yeah. It looks interesting. It's kind of like it's giving me like 2D Dead Space vibes, which is sick. I like it. I'm gonna download it and give it a go. I think at some point I'll add it to my fucking backlog of ever growing games. It's it's shit. I hate it, but I love it. My hard drive is going no more, please.
Okay, you'll be fine.
Just one more, please. This is what I'm like. I had to do an update. I was gonna play Elder Scrolls with a friend last night because we jump on there occasionally and play. And I was alright. I haven't played in a while. He's like, there's an update. I'm like, okay. I'm looking, and I got halfway through. It's like, there's no room. I'm like, yep, this isn't happening tonight. We're doing something else.
Damn it! Some house cleaning.
I've just got to finish games. That's my problem. Then I can delete them. But I've got like 4 or 5 on a run at the moment, and it's like, a new shiny game. Attention span of a goldfish and cocaine. It's fucked. But
I have Destiny 2. And I have Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, aka the unstreamable game, but I figure it out anyhow.
What is the problem with it? I love the Lego games. They're fucking great.
It is the way the graphics are set up.
Right.
OBS does not like it. So, and there's no mouse. There's no way to put it in a windowed view. So as soon as you open the game, the mouse is gone. You can't like switch to the other monitor. So I can't. Basically, I play with my screen. My face cam is down here, and the game screen is only about this big up here, and the rest is just black. Like I can't.
I think I saw
can't
it. I think
yeah,
I saw that
on
your stream. Yeah, I saw it there. I'm like, that's a weird.
Yeah, no,
I wonder what was going on there.
It's just I thought it was me at first, but it's just the way the game, like the way the game is designed. I ended up looking it up, and it just does not do well being streamed, just based on the actual way it's made. You could download like a third-party thing. I tried it, but I might have done it wrong. I tried to download like a forced windowed mode type thing, and it didn't work. So it's just so I've got that.
Capture it is. Fuck it.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we are then. And there's that. And I did just get. Most of my people don't know this, so if anyone watches or listens to this, y'all should ask me to play it more often. But I did download the Sega Genesis version of Sonic the Hedgehog, which I grew up playing.
Yeah.
So I sneak over to the neighbor's house to play on their Lego or on their Sega that they got from the dump. So fond fucking memories of that. I have not streamed that yet though. Keeping it in my pocket.
I used to play a bit of Sega. My grandfather owned one. He was fucking cool. He was like tech shit. Yeah, fucking that and Chopper Attack. Great fucking games.
Ooh, I think I have that.
It was a 64 game. But it was you fly around in a chopper and blow up bases.
My husband probably knows what it is.
Yeah. It was the greatest thing. And it was just like a
he had an
chopper and just like some shitty hills. It's fucking good shit.
I love it. Oh my god, good fucking times.
That's all
Yeah.
I've got this week. Moles, thank you for coming on and just shooting this shit with me. I've had the best fucking time. You're I need more of your drinking stories though. They give me fucking life.
Well, to be fair, again, I didn't actually start until like those are the best ones, and those are new as of the last like 6 months. So
Well, in that case, we're gonna have to make some more at some point.
I was about to say I'll have to get my ass over there sometime and
yeah, definitely
have some y'all gotta teach me the ways.
Ways of drinking beer and falling asleep on the couch. I can teach you that well. It's not difficult.
I'm open to any and all instruction in the drinking realm. But yeah, know that I'm lightweight as shit and may possibly throw up on your floor.
Sounds like a fucking fun time.
Yeah. I agree.
For the people at home, shout out your shit. Where can we find you doing your things?
Yeah, I shit post on Twitter like it's my fucking job, and I have 2 jobs, so I don't need another one, but there I am. smolTITAN 118, SMOL Titan 118. And that is same on Instagram, but that's mostly for art. That's where actually you'll see a lot of my art, but I don't post on there obviously anymore. And Twitch. I managed to bag that name for absolutely everything. I am the only smolTITAN 118 on pretty much everywhere. So, and Spotify. Like 80s music from both Australia and America. It is over there. I just happened to glance down and saw it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I got some shit.
Nice. Cool. As always, guys, if you want to keep in touch with the podcast, find us Twitter, left_pod, Instagram at 2 left thumbs podcast, because fuck consistency and fuck Twitter's short names. You can also find us on YouTube, where the video of this will be uploaded in a couple of days afterwards, depending. I had a late episode on YouTube last week because rendering decided to fucking say nope, and I was like, you know what, I don't have time for this shit right now. I'm working too much.
That's on YouTube.
Yeah. So we're there on YouTube as well. You know where to find me by now. I've been doing this fucking long enough. I don't need to. I'm not even relevant. I've been gone for 2 weeks, fucking just working. So I'm around somewhere. I'm dead, probably. I don't know. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining me and catching up. It is good. You're one of the people I've been kind of wanting to catch up with for a bit since we kind of started interacting a little bit. So this has been fucking great.
Thank you again so much for having me. This is actually the first, like the only, believe it or not, like, I know this is hard for some people to believe, but again, I'm mostly just a shit poster on Twitter at this point. Like, I'm not an artist. I'm not barely a streamer at this point. So this is the only other podcast I've ever been on besides Unfiltered. So
well,
thank you.
as you've done fantastically. You're a great person to chat to, and more people should guest you on. So podcasts out there, get her on. She's fucking cool.
Oh well, I mean, yes, if you want to, I could spit a yarn with the best of them for better part of 2 hours.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you all have a fantastic week. As the great Rover McManus said, say hi to your mum for me. Bye.